But now let's quickly put the spotlight on a new fund launch, the DSP BlackRock A.C.E Fund Series 2, the latest equity mutual fund to hit the markets. And we have the fund manager himself here to decode this fund, Mr. Suryanarayan Manian, who's the CFA fund manager, DSP BlackRock Investment Managers, who's joining us. Welcome to the show, Suryanarayan. To start off with, if you could just help us and the viewers understand what is the theme of this fund firstly?
Yeah, hi Hero. Thanks for having us on the show. So essentially the fund is meant to deliver alpha through bottom-up stock selection. The idea behind this fund is that the sector allocation calls will not be taken in the portfolio. Whatever is the sector weight that the benchmark has, those are the same weights that we will have within the portfolio. And as far as bottom-up stock selection is concerned, we have a fairly large team of sector analysts who are dedicated towards specific sectors. And the highest conviction stocks that are selected by the analyst team is what will be selected in this portfolio. That will be roughly around 45 to 55 stocks is what we will hold in this portfolio at any point in time. And apart from that, what we have also added as a feature is that there will be downside protection in case of a market correction, which can be offered through buying put options whose maturity is sort of matched with the life of the fund itself.
So this is going to be a mix of derivatives as well as stocks. So what's going to be the proportion, in terms of breakup?
Sure. So the derivatives that we are talking about here is essentially the put options, which will be at the money put options that we will buy at the inception of the fund and whose maturity will sort of match with the life of the product itself. So the indicative premium that is prevalent today, depending on whatever indicative quotes are there today, it should cost somewhere around 6.5 to 7.5 rupees for every 100 rupees that is invested in the portfolio. But that typically will be dependent on what is the put option premium on the day that we actually deploy the money. But this is the sort of indicative levels that we're seeing in the market today. So the remaining part of the portfolio, which is somewhere around 92, 93 rupees, is what will be invested in stocks.
Right. And there is a dividend distribution as well, which will be attached to this fund. How do you think it's going to actually be benefiting the investors?
Well, the dividend option is just a product feature. It's not a compulsory requirement for every investor to take that option. We will obviously have the growth option as well, which is available for investors to select if that is what they want. But the way in which the dividend option helps investors is that if there is an investor who is a little conservative and wants to take some profits off the table as and when it happens during the life of the product, then they can do that by selecting the dividend option, and we will endeavor to pay that out to investors, whoever has selected the dividend option. But it's not a compulsory requirement for every investor to go for this option.
Right. All right, Suryanarayan. Thank you for joining us on the show and giving us details in terms of the series. So that's the DSP BlackRock A.C.E Fund Series 2 that has come in. In fact, in terms of Series 1 as well, that was launched in December, they almost managed to garner around 600 crores for that fund. But completely out of time, that's all in this episode of the MF Guide. Do keep sending us your queries and we will get them answered here on our show. News and updates will continue on the other side. Thanks for watching BTVi.